day. Hello. Good day, mate. Ha. What's up? Why's up? Dies like a psychosomatic neuroimmunology. From a lyrical medicinal intrinsical technology. Yo all hail, and I'll go set sail to this holy grail of linguistic detail. And with all your devotion, this poetry in emotion, you can surf the cosmic ocean. Yeah yo, so, come on, come and lady, let's go a little loco. Doing the locomotion. Yeah. Eyes a cause just for your to feel a love emotion. Yeah. This is a supreme time for layman's, and a dream time for shamans. Yeah. Just daydream at ease, into a meditative state. Find these keys, unlock that gate. Using your imagination, you can create a peak experience sensation that feels great. It's worth a try to demonstrate this objective, and know why you should see life in a new perspective. Simply open your mind, free of any mental blocks. Imagine there's no limits to time and space. Think out of the box. With your open mind, eye, and an affinity to truly try and understand infinity, you may sense more divinity is within your vicinity, while redefining every possible possibility, such as your time and space endgame membrane lines of visibility. So, yeah, let's prime define these quizzical times. Far beyond fiscal or physical, absolute plane defines. See the clues from within, coincidences all on display as the numbers prime. Show sacred geometry patterns as nature's way to see how life can align. As you go now with the simplicity flow of every surreal line, you will know how synchronicity can show this life is real sublime. If you know also, it is why, when we die, your ethereal immortal reality just needs a real gauge measure for normality. Then of course the material portal of mortality can't hurt you, as it's really a virtue. Virtuality. Like, before you were born, there was no perception of time, so no timeline to wait. Then see how after death everything is fine, as there's no downtime to remanifest, just state. For all existence will eventuate and create everything that is great. But our remembrance is too late to celebrate the state of fate. So yeah, let's party harder, pro-rata, and create a positive resonance that we, Generation 8, I'll love it when fine line rhymes have genuine aligned defines. They make my smile shine. Go that extra mile. Don't ask why, I don't know. And don't ask how, just go with the flow. Take your polylogarithmic pseudo time this fine night. Find a way to control the rhyme and line highlight. With less toe from auto, we'll have all the right moves. And with more manuals, we'll have all the right grooves. Then with high doses of self-hypnosis, my diagnosis is more ecstasis for all the masses. Hey presto, this is the best bestow. So yo, let's go, let's flow. This bliss and bless so synchronicity shows God knows fine rhyme aligning in rows. Playing his words like dominoes. Yo, post haste, no time to waste. Hocus pocus, it's time to focus. No joke, don't smoke, choke us. Yeah, I'm on a roll, pulling out the old magics. From out a hole of a rabbit hole at tricks. See, I'm just carving and forming. Yeah, pathing, not boring. By having the snoring, I'm just carving and forming. Ya good, morning. Now, infinite time and space, this place has already begun. So, know that nothing is impossible as the philosophical rule number 1. Where everything is possible, it has or will already be done. See how something from nothing is possible, thus, hence, never really none. With so many clues to the hidden come from the given, it's fun loving them and fun living in them. Now, here comes the fun. Yeah, because it's funny, life's a game. Played at the center of infinity, your brain. Yeah. Infinity is divinity, it's so surreal and also sublime. As it's essential for our existential real reality paradigm. And you, since the placenta, that place where you enter, where these 3Ds combine align, make your body presenter a soul sensor, in the all of space and the whole of all time. It's a point of center and you're the inventor of your own reality state of mind, where each, all and every perception point can find somewhere together as we refine and forever entwine throughout all of existence. Our true powers of persistence is how life questing inadvertently is now manifesting eternity. We're forever continuing as a mind-blowing, home-growing for showing, cause ya knowing that death should not even frighten. So thus, for us, this ad infinitum continuum item, to enlighten what everyone has already inside them. The whole holy cosmos polarity has a singularity heart. With our soul, that's solely the duality shining jewel part. This universe is so perfect as a matter of fact. Coincidental similarities repeat actualities so exact. It's simply a system perfectly tuned to perfecting perfection. And if we self-destroy, then it's just the cosmic rejection. No matter what, who, or where, whether we're here or out there, this same existence is what we all share. So look after yourself, yeah, and take care. It's self-consciousness that makes us aware that we are something from nothing out of where. Born from stars, we all start. And life's old scars are just shining our heart. For it is shown, but unknown, here at home, under the dome. You are never really ever, forever alone. Wow, you see we've come to this mind-blowing place. And we're homegrown, welcome here with grace. So yeah, it's time to embrace, man, this human race. Here on our base, sailing away through space. Beautifully angled, which dimension did Mozart's art start? Quantum entangled, who or what played a part? Do they beat with an ear, or hear with their heart? Have you seen our universe schematic? Oh yeah, it's very enigmatic, with everything dramatic, to make you feel ecstatic. So be a fanatic. You see all the hectic universal obstacles, making some epic pinnacle spectacles, and used as a polite exopolitical, critical, clinical, analytical. What came first, the chicken or the cooked egg, our friend? How many numbers are there to comprehend? Is the corner in a circle around the bend? And is the beginning the end of the end? Well, if you know how many numbers there are to comprehend, then the beginning is the end of the riddle, end. And the corner in this circle is around the middle bend. Do you dimension get it? Or did your dementia already forget it? Needless to say, the middle of the infinity riddle is fiddle-riddled. Because there's an infinite amount of zeros, all trying to be heroes. Clues to the hidden come from the given, so easily you can earn. Such as the elements, hydrogen and oxygen, the most powerful to burn. And the byproduct is water, the best extinguisher is bonded in turn. Perfect design signs are everywhere. If you're aware, then you can learn. And this logical, phenomenological, intractable reality is actually a fractal actuality in the time and space duality. For when computing improves just for the beauty of a fractal, which also further proves that infinity is an actual, we can see again in Zoom when nature starts calling. How infinity has infinite room when the snow starts falling. For the processional infinitesimal decimals that amazingly make every unique snowflake. And as the universe runs elegant music at play, harmonic tunes, relevant symphonics of sway, just swim with the current destiny of today. And your moral compass will point the righteous way. Even sections that play cosmic string provocative instruments are tunes playing chords according to octave increments. So attune your natural selections for an actual broader, higher order probability. For more connections or less rejections of your proper ability. Which ultimately must mean a cosmic soul connection as a perceptive perspective. And must be ever moving toward the perfection direction, natural objective. Then a virtue for the reality virtuality must be the creative of natural selection. When the object of affection is to co-combine all the cognitive collection. Look up at the moon. It's amazing where it sits above, under the swoon. Or gazing its eclipse, you can feel the love. Yeah, affecting little objects of affections. Directing literal supernatural selections. Is it a cosmotron matrix, with mates tricks? To heal a helix fix, for all us mates and chicks. Made from all us bits, soul expansion kits. Thus for all us where it sits. Is it a machine to the extreme? The brightest star sheen. Keeping lean. The selfish gene. For more loving dreams. Behind the scenes. Does our essential, circumstantial, existential have an eventual, full potential, perpetual extra sexy exponential? Yeah, look up at the moon. Let's redefine what's within finite. Because there is forever to zoom, to refine what's out of sight. Look up at the moon. It's time to reunite the expansion balloon and its finite height. Hey, look up at the moon. It's now time to assume that space and time have infinite room. Seriously, I am comprehending an impending doom-ending soon. Hey, can you see your mortality is really a virtuality, and the real natural selection of genetic source codes? Interpolation of X nodes with loads of XXX loads that explodes. Usually I quantum illustrate visually for the field theory illiterate. Universal common sense notions, natural cause and effect motions. We see relating eventually the logic of truth correlations by using elementary fault-inventory validations. We can even invent a way to believe, evidently in percent than achieve event tree correlations, elementary validations. We can even invent a way to believe, evidently in percent than achieve the best referred quantum field theory construct equations, not from inferred abstract arbitrary language to math relations. So let's be a fine man and realign them wire plans, like with Feynman diagrams. Then find the blind kind of, behind the name fame kind Einstein mind. And let's see who's still saluting good old Newton, or arresting like a Tesla wrestler. The best referred construct math equations are not from inferred language to math relations. When Hawking's math feels the wrath, and people start to laugh. Mate, don't hate. Losing the faith is just what is fate. Rely on the signs. Realign with the times. Only time can teach your life's crimes, when life's clock is ringing its chimes. Some say the world will end in fire, some say it will end with ice. But a black hole desire, playing with an unknown fire, is a gamble with humanity only once, not twice. A black hole is around the bend. I swear we're not pretending. So see what we befriend, and how this impending doom-ending is still pending. So until science stops all this type of spending, please, as they really have no comprehending. Seriously, this needs amending, without anyone reoffending, as the whole future is something worth defending. and therefore must stop all humanity descending. So hear this grand command, now transcending, and know that any lending hand commending is ascending. Not to be condescending about a condescending, from non-comprehending the impending doom ending, from a black hole that dark age science is befriending. Playing with an unknown fire arc sparking our quarks. They have a black hole desire, cakewalking in dark shark parks. Showing no fear, boldly going where no other would steer. Listening to them cheer, do not cry a tear, like condensation. Just be a pioneer, with a conversation. Have a gander at all the improper propaganda. But get off the fence. No offense, I sense. Common universal sense is the best defense. As our accidents will happen, like all good parties that end. So what good is man when he can't be his own friend? To appease our demanding the full potential. From understanding the exponential. Ecosmology is now expanding the instrumental. Free keys to ease the extra transcendental. You see, this is like a free-for-all that we're all going in. And as such, it's also free for all for free flowing within. Also it's fee-free, so we all can be free, falling in. Quantum local relativity explains enigmatic activity. The big questions, pieced from suggestions. It's a gift to uplift, a new paradigm shift. Busting the brink, and cease those conjecture congestions. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, yeah. Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, oh yeah. Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, you yeah. To the point of absolute zero, exists a particle that is a hero. Called the Tron, because that is where everything comes from. It is a sea. This cosmological constant is a logical cosmic ocean. You see, you are now surfing, riding this wave of poetry in motion. It's a particle so small, it virtually does not exist at all. At the smallest scale of relevance, is the holy place of benevolence. Our last relevant size of the small, is this building block of Ona and all. The smallest base particle that affects us. Thus, don't miss this physics bus, as there's a lot to discuss, and this involves all of us. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, yeah. Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, oh yeah. Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, As this particle is so small, it virtually does not exist at all. Like something from nothing, virtually, is how the Tron makes reality. Passing through everything, yet we can't detect. But deep inside everything has an effect. Not created nor destroyed. Creating like us to be enjoyed. Setting the cosmic boundary. Perpetuating particle energy. Providing infinite power and symmetry. The fabric of time, space, and me. All throughout history. Answering questions shaded in mystery. It's the reason for galactic wheel rotations. So forget dark matter from your gray area matter imaginations. It's the limiting effect on momentum and speed. That is what existence must need. This fabric of space and time is quantum foam, or zero-point energy it is otherwise known, a zero-point energy field, as the Casimir effect revealed. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, Quantum Tron flux is the universal energy source. And this inertia plasma is the inner outward force. As this cosmological constant assertion to follow the path of dispersion, causing a diversion on any larger particle in its submersion, making all our relative physics our current physics version. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, Tron flux just goes with the flow. Just to flow where it's low. Like where a singularity sucks. Due to the gravitons that it chucks. With easy entry poles. At the slow axis point holes. Forming a complex tooling. Storming a vortex whirlpooling. Then, when to form a vortex form, again a black hole can be born. In fact, when they compact toward a point of inflection, is where the only direction is without objection. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, As Tron flux feeds black holes its main course, driven by its source of the spinning centrifugal force. Then gravity is a factor in the photon fusion reactor. As these two cyclonic charged tornadoes is how the Tron flux current flows. Like your bath water when you dispose. And unfortunately I suppose Gravitational lensing shows nobody knows. That's how a black hole grows. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, yeah. Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, oh yeah. Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, you yeah. The Tron is the smallest particle we know, fluidly moving and going with the flow. As the Tron passes through everything, yet we cannot detect. But we see how deep inside everything has an effect. Setting boundaries for the space and light speed define. Not created nor destroyed, this fabric creates us all so fine. Perpetuating particle energy, providing infinite power and symmetry. As every blast from the past shows how this universe is built to last. With this inner plateau so vast, this point is superluminally fast. Perpetuated for eternity, galactic cycling agains. The infinite amount of supermassive black big hole bangs. Not created nor destroyed, creating like us to be enjoyed. Superluminal motion through the cosmic ocean, yeah. Propagating on, I'm proper known as Tron, oh yeah. Frictionless propagation, inertia excitation, you yeah. The Tron C quantum flux inner quality is good for inequality. As it just goes with the flow, just to flow where it's low. Like where a singularity sucks, due to the gravitrons that it chucks. This cosmological constant assertion is to follow the path of dispersion. Thus, like a gust, causing a diversion on any larger particle in its submersion, making all our relative physics our current physics version. Mass curves space and time as a rule, but know that they are just a measurement tool. You see, quantum flux flow is fluid just like a pool. Time to sink or swim, so don't be a fool. As the real science is too cool for school. Haha, something from nothing, virtually, of course, is how quantum Tron flux makes reality. May it be with you as the force. Okay then, at our 0 point singularity, we see this 3D. And then as an actuality. So then ad infinitum to add to the time and space in continuum of reality. Is a neutron star so dense to its core, like a brain cell receptor? Hey, haha, redefine life once more. With energy everywhere, maybe so too is God. Not created nor destroyed, eternity is never really odd. Can energy be intelligent in contrast, and have wisdom to last? The secret attraction action is emissions in every direction. Just like photons we see, gravitons emit flowing like a sea. On this size scale, when twains collide, can bump another out deep from atoms inside. This dynamic natural process simply replaces from within, filling gaps, moving up in rank next of kin. Atomic size movement we call gravity is simply this process, basic elementary. A black hole emits them like a spinning factory, like black photons that interact with protons, practically. This Tron flux system pressure is impossible to measure. Even a millennium-run conundrum can't fix a three-body problem. Three-body 3D. Spherical particle convolution harmonics. Harmonics are hypersymmetric with the electric supersonics. Supersonics. It's a vibe for your tribe. Attempt sensation. Sensation. To feel the heat, upbeat, the sound of a vibration. Vibration, good vibration. Enigmatic hypersymmetric synergistic effects. Three-body spherical particle convolution complex. Affects perturbation between 3D gyroscopics. Momentous fluctuation of flux at entropics. And the cyclonic field charge of relativity may yield nuclear energy activity, with the gyromagnetic ratio being exponential, due to the spin angular momentum full potential. Centripetal constant C, it puts the pedal to the metal. It's like trying to spin and win a gold medal. As they all go for gold, putting the centripetal pedal to the central middle metal, and win a gold medal. A gravitation relation is sourced when centrifugal force is forced, causing ejection at the weakest link. This particle is called a graviton, I think. The typical graviton ejection within, at critical mass point speed of spin, when a bran regains some sort of particle resistance. The endgame membranes support perpetual existence. But there's a chance of an avalanche, like a snowball in free fall. My epic correct tech detects hectic covariant matrix affects, projecting perceptions, injecting conceptions. It's a cool tool for you to see the truth, see the lies, see the wrongs, and see the whys. Modern cosmology holds that the universe was an infinitely dense, immense singularity. So to say that a black hole began infinite time and space, in a sense, is innocence of human fallibility. They take some Big Bang universe, never tell you which type first begun. Then they take some black holes, that no one can tell you what it is, not one. I suppose they superimpose the whole lot, then violate and annihilate their very own theory structure plot. Things popping into existence from a point dot. But God creating the universe sounds more hot. Now everywhere scientism gets abused. So philosophically we're also confused. And where now scientism is getting confused, then also philosophically we're also possibly abused. Using math to reify nature is poor. Then anything chaotic or enigmatic has a flaw. But physicists use it to ascribe and describe a specific scientific law. The three-body measurement problem is the cause of confusion. Actually, that makes our actual 3D physics core delusion. Huge ego is amounting from money. No joke, it's seriously not funny. Ridiculed science seems to be heavily invested. So cannot accept ideas that are readily contested. It's a greed illogical bias is. From greed is creating the current physics crisis. Pseudoscience, fiction friction, is the cause of our extinction. With pseudoscience in alliance, who defy core compliance with defiance. Even just a fraction of their field of fiction can cause addiction action to yield poor prediction. But I refusal bamboozle, the waffle muffled kerfuffle shuffle, that those fundamental zealots try to overzealous tell us. And the science dogma they allow is probably how that it's time now we take a final bow wow. When angular momentum talks the torque force, due to the vacuum flux field energy source, simply running its aftermath path, of course, without remorse. That ancient Einstein theory is nothing new. You know E equals mc squared is still set like glue. That means the energy of light is zero, not true. So beam me up, Scotty, as the sky is no longer blue. Mass curves space and time as a rule. But know that they are just a measurement tool. You see, quantum flux flow is fluid just like a pool. Yeah, time to sink or swim, kids, don't be a fool. As the real science is too cool for school. Time and space have no limit. Zoom in your finger, imagine what's in it. So now is where I point to my point to, for what is true within you, as a way for time and space in infinitum. If you have the time place for your space added continuum item. Towards absolute zeros, quantum scales and details are thus divine. With prime number heroes that loop a line, 3 dimensions of us with time, forming for Yaha vortex loop axis prime vector line. Hoya for ya 4th dimension perception of fine prime time to shine. Maybe infinite time and space need not begin, nor even need a start. as everything maybe is already within, either or rather just an either other part on par part. Maybe anywhere as already everything somewhere within. Wherever the ad infinitum continuum item is forever continuing. In the prime time multiple of the 3Ds. These X, Y, and Z's we seize. Any one point has divisionability, that then can make 2 points of define more fine, indefinitely. Because inside the finite exists a point of infinite detail, making indefinite definitely off the scale. In any case, between time and space, it's just a scaled ratio link. At any place, the calculations per second define the detail we think. And the perception of time as our memory jogs requires both space and time to turn our cognitive cogs. Thus, time and space are directly proportional bottleneck bogs, making both relative when clearing up any perception data backlogs. Time and size scale proportionally, do not be deceived, making our conception of time and inner space observance when it is received. As perception when smaller is especially generally relatively more rapidly perceived, then the reception measure rate of time is also more so vaster when increasingly faster achieved. For example, if you shrink down subatomic for a sec, see that the time on your watch runs normal if you check. And not even a black hole can bend these rules. Space and time are merely symbolic measurement tools. And this logical phenomenological intractable reality is actually like a fractal actuality in the time and space duality. Here seriously, you know what? There's a paradox with infinity and an eternal universe regarding time travel backwards or to rehearse in reverse. Because with infinity's full potential, all possibilities are exponential. So along the time and space sequential, maybe even time travel back must be eventual and essential for our existential. Or are we blessed by a curse, with only one time-space to immerse? Does this blessed universe define that second is not the first? Anything believed as impossible is never a certainty prediction, because future path possibilities create this a contradiction. As endless time produces anything with its maternity, at some point anything can happen within eternity. Can any electromagnetic feedback open a time portal crack? Can this time-space paradox forever turn back the clocks? Would time be ended? Would the clock be offended? Is history rerun? Is it just like songs resung? Is that just more fun? In parallel that we all won? Is nothing is needed to replace an infinite amount of empty space? it can be assumed this ability is a probable possibility, as perfectionism is serious subjectivism in universalism, where the natural object of affection is the pursuit of the perfection direction. And because with God being benevolent, this endeavor is relevant, creating this clever function, or the equivalent, wherever in conjunction, that is to be forever prevalent. Traveling back in time where past and future can align. Something at some point, sometime. When technology somehow, at a point that can allow for the time-traveling descendant master to meet the eternal transcendent caster. Are those yin and yang mang on mission Nirvana Zen, maybe walking amongst men, and correcting, once more and again? Brethren, benevolence, transcending the emanating eminence. At Zen, as yin and yang mang, freestyling the fine smile shining, condemned to Zen once again, amen. As perfecting perfection always requires further inspection at points of conflictions from with those objection afflictions. Suffering, a final word intrusion, ultimate penultimate theory delusion, would have no objection, moving forward together with the arrow of time direction. Wherever there is benevolence, then everything has relevance. For we're forever so the clever have forever more prevalence. Everything deserves respect as anything has connections. Correct corrections you can expect across the whole spectrum of selections. Like brethren benevolence, who emanate real eminence of real science relevant evidence. In this game of courtesy and clever forever prevalence. Real eternal material immortals. Quantum leaping surreal ethereal portals. Opening parallel dimensions. Creating better more outcome intentions. As they drive along in reverse. Through our polar universe. Where we forget what's remembered, even before births. Not knowing whose idea subconsciously will appear. Remembering by what was forgotten could be ironic. Forgetting what was remembered, that it's all so platonic. How awkward, going backward, it's ironic. Forward would seem moronic. Or are we blessed by a curse? Living in the reverse polar universe. With only one time-space immerse. Does this blessed universe have no time to reverse? One day far into the distant past, that all-star procast. With top deck epic tech, a rock having a blast. Unsetting sail at a half-mast. Travel back in time, to make more time last. Like now our existence is in need of some assistance. staring you in the face at Earth's points of confliction. The best time and place to be alive must be an addiction. Re-rolling forward together, the arrow of time, direction. Are those strict life evictions, creating conflict extinctions, choice predictions on those constrictions, and can earn for yourself distinctions. As your relatives have really serious connectivity at mysterious restrictions. So see everything's relativity, using your pure loving instinctions. And as the object of affection is to perfect shared perfection, making points of confliction, such as an objection affliction, move forward together, the arrow of time direction. Even the universe has memory in contrast. Intelligent energy from every blast of the past, echoing for eternity throughout a global and cluster nexus that has wisdom to last. Are we like a neutron star, so dense to its core? Like a type of brain cell receptor? Redefine life once more. Energy everywhere is not created nor destroyed. So too is God. Then infinite time and space enjoyed is nothing really odd. Consciousness is just obviously an oblivious part of God, giving all existence the nod. As we're all just precarious human being keys from the same pod, with our gregarious heads on various meads needing a mod, swimming in the old school nefarious drool for the occasional prod, gold fishing for knowledge in this wisdom college as a rod. This planetarium aquarium is hilarious in this age of Aquarius, loving the cosmos as God. So, what exactly happens when we die? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? And why? Is there really a human soul to enlighten my heart and its whole? My fire for life needs more coal. What is my existence for and its role? Should I read my moral compass guide? Direct me away from that evil slippery slide. Be scared of death, and inside I hide. No, we can walk strong and shine with pride. New discoveries in science can shed some light. Confirmed facts that are proven just right. Now give me hope and a future bright. Because logic sense can see God's might. Now, down to the point at hand, we can see more stars than grains of sand. That is the sand on all Earth's land, which is itself a sign of something grand and abundant throughout our existence elements. Carbon, aminos, water, universal sediments. Our building blocks of DNA expedients for spreading and perpetuating life, existence. Interstellar asteroids and meteors as a seed. inside bacteria and tardigrades, it is agreed that symbiotic pair have all they need. A design sent by engines you must concede. What is an engine? You might ask. An angel or alien to do God's task. Maybe even amongst us, with a human mask. Here to help, if you just ask. The hand of God, imitating His love. A respectful observance, look up above. Your appreciation is a personal peace dove. As universal order fits like a glove. It's highly possible, if you're clever. Now they're observing our perspective, humor whatever. The abundance of space, never say never. Time is of essence, only God is, forever. If there was a way to record everything we do, like a pet's microchip, to identify who's who. Without a soul device, they wouldn't have a clue. If natural morality and ethical instinctuality are true. And if you loved someone, something deep, would you hold them close, forever to keep? Where whatever they are, do, or sleep, bring great pride and joy, for rewards to reap. What they say, do, see or think. Precious jokes, memories, emotions, avoid the sink. Can be recorded, easy as a wink. Even their essence of life, saved from the brink. A quantum, subatomic, nano-soul device. A soul to grant at any price. When the price to pay, per se, is a grain of rice. It's time to shine now on earth, and be nice. Logically thinking, the odds are quite high. Based on clues given to the naked eye. An indefinite existence, next stage we fly. And the whole purpose of you and I. With an hour there, being just a second here. Freely moving around, maybe through your ear. Procedures to follow, rules to adhere. Intervening at times, thank you, Granddad, dear. How bright you echoed in your time, would reflect like a beacon, come visit mine. We souls, like moths, to the shine, come watch and learn, next life will be fine. Close relatives that have passed away, their soul device guides you every day. We are gifted, able to help us help ourselves as a race. As the soul lives on not on shelves, but embraced with grace. So I guess I speak for everyone, if all this is true. We are a species of love, therefore, we love you. Our jokes are funny, right? And the things we do? Trust us, we'll change, even more, with this clue. It's just a situation of circumstance, most worship money. In time we'll see, the universal currency is funny. Like credits gained, when you joke, like a bunny. Those credits the new currency, called money. As we practice, and define what's cool. 2. Be stern is weak, and tough like a fool. All we can offer now, as a universal tool, is that original joke to make even Stephen Hawkins drool.
Yeah.
So, okay, sir, que sera, rare, whatever will to be, or not to be. Now that is a question. Ha. Yeah, we all know religions are many, and that faith in God can come from any. And if in God we trust, from ashes to dust, we have more hope. Because faith no more clashes due to the Hubble Space Telescope, with more stars than all of the sand grains on all of Mars. It's probably time to pray now as we play with their guitar avatar superstars. From affairs. Yeah, yeahs. Who produce and introduce the relevant, benevolent soul ordering, just to expand the demand on the grand sentient perimeter bordering. For once shown, forever known how these seeds are sown, and that's how these G's good deeds are grown. When the galaxy aligns, if there's any precession anxiety, within the zodiac signs, soul, possession, propriety, variety, then Space Society uses the Santa handover clause to redefine 6 society laws. For less criminority flaws and jail time doors, that sobriety of a real piety variety can cause. Freely playing ubiquitous songs about humanity, calamity, wrongs. When the I has free will, then its power to kill will start snowballing and free-falling down a hill. Soon after your voice-activated narrated PDA demands another holographic heads-up display and starts forming a queue inside and outside Intel 2, then the AIQ will start thinking for us too, causing real implications to human assimilations. Because nano-replications will be turning us to grey goo. As there is no cure for grey area, grey goo flu. That's like the day the Earth stood still number 2. This is then where and why a sim by bot trick in conjunction is needed to be designed as a robotic symbiotic function to work at every chaotic asymptotic brink conjecture junction. Imitation is the best form of flattery and show of respect. But recorded information management system increases this neglect. Not to turn up the tap or rhyme up the gap, but just for us to tap the tap app glass ass mishap. Like finding the algorithm to fine-tune DNA genetics, binding to the rhythm of sun and moon magnetics. At the hiking tide of helix, mitosis, zones of ribosomes helifix from osmosis. So who made who? And who made you? Can be answered based on this clue, or two. As genetics allow for evolution, and DNA can change for any solution. Engines expand the loving dreams behind the scenes, keeping refined and lean our extreme selfish genes. When winning at amino sequence odds the best, must be getting blessed from gods when test impressed, making us like dressed pets, placing up the guest bets on who's the best guest, playing like the best quest, not for our head messing, in a way of progressing, but keeping us guessing is a gift unaware blessing. And for more shock and awe, in awe of an awesome lesson, they be getting I'm guessing, plus all the fingers on the trigonometrics, stereotyping with us fingerless dyslexics, and all our retro rhetorics must be full-on frantic what the heck hectics, because these freaking semantic frantic antics are linguistically, mystically, and statistically correct. As we now face roll the inbuilt universal obstacles, we're making some real epic pinnacle spectacles in crystal clarity across the galaxy, every analog to digital outcome predictable. Polite exopolitical, clinical analytical is an intergalactic practical hack attack tactic that's practical to show the galaxy that we're binary stereotypical hypocritical. And as everything is subjective, on any subjected subject elective, thus making anything an objective, on any objected object selective, where any perceptive perspective has objected, like if natural selection is your only object of affection. Whether you're an atheist like some of those Stephen's talkings, or running diagnostics on agnostics like Richard Dawkins, see that it's the wrong Big Bang pleasure direction that science marches towards the string and measure theory and its golden arches. Now evolution is adapting for transformation, and the information is exacting toward creation, because genetics allow for life distribution, and DNA can change for any adaptation solution. Therefore, probably God made evolution. Somehow, the time is now. It's always now. Time for a religion and science revolution. Rejuvenated as one cosmic ideology, theology, institution. For this confliction kiss will avoid and miss the vast void abyss. And that makes us all part of this one. So see that we everyone have already won. Like father and son, our existence family is one, and life is for fun. Oi, huh, hey mate. Yeah.
Whoa, yeah!
It's really a transcending adventure on this existent line, ascending upward out at every persistent time, plus these times multiply, to increase the going home sum aligns. Thus why we must comply, thy duty to be alone sometimes. And reducing this line, we have these essential single times. It's due to this growth we made this matrix cycle oath. This divine ripe mingle is for any brain now single, forming God's encyclopedia via our so-called social media. And as the next X in Nexus, from a perplexed complex plexus of solar plexus, X's a pyramid's spectrum refraction is a physics type of action, channeled, funneled, or deflected. The desired elect function is directed toward the correct junction directly affected. A triangle tries to be a circle, but it's rough around the edges. In fine time its three-way memory will remember all of its pledges. When the corners stop being yawners, they'll make a perfect shape, not wedges. See how moronic when we used to think that the earth was flat. But now it's ironic because we have found that the universe is not quite round. My epic correct tech detects hectic covariant matrix affects. I'm arriving a surprising realizing. I see an event horizon that is rising on the horizon. There's a chance of an avalanche, like a snowball in free fall. So now is where I point to my point to, for what is true within you, as a way for time and space to thus add infinitum. If you have the time place for your space added continuum item, as inside the finite exists a point of infinite detail, making indefinite indefinitely off the scale. Infinity for eternity is infinitely complex, with paradigm scales that simply just perplex. That's even more intriguing than the opposite sex. Seriously, nobody really knows, even if a black hole grows, gravity below blows, or radiation ejects. So now you know no one knows. A black hole cannot show whether it grows. Certainly nothing is certain, and that's absolute. Such as safety asserting in the atom-smashing pursuit. Do we play how it rolls, as is fate misguided? Like creating black holes, some things still need to be decided. Get off the fence. No offense, I sense. Common sense is the best defense. Intrinsic human idiosyncrasies in synchronic synchronicity here make idiotic ideologies a real epic pinnacle spectacle. As may be predictable, universal obstacles are used for cosmic, polite, political, critical, clinical type of analyticals. In a theoretician competition mission, stuck at a war of attrition type position on exhibition, So probably using a probability probability, which then earn precision prediction tuition recognition. Because these politicians have ambitions to win the supervision superposition, while superconducting musician renditions for their composition of extrasensory intuitions and premonition visions to provide provision condition for pro-decision visions. Required now to directly detect correct direction corrections. Like LHC particle collisions you see even before construction was instructed to be unobstructed, as omissions preconditions of public permission, from some Sheldons hot for Kelvins like magician Melvins. Without any inhibitions, just ignition repetition addictions seem to only raise praise not suspicions. Their black hole desire to arc spark a quark will cause an unknown fire like a cakewalk in the park. That Mortician Coalition Commission is sent from the Tactician Inquisition Division. Because extradition extra expedition traditions for imagination malnutrition that envision fruition of cognition volitions addition submission conditions. Via the rhetorician academician television loud transmission emissions that cloud logicians statistician mathematicians string theory definitions of revisions by indecision and hidden vision admissions. Cause apparition superstitions of litigation liquidation from population obstetrician clinician extreme circumcision excisions. Like frustrations from fucking castrations. Now the pediatrician physician opposition has additional proposition petition ammunitions from signature acquisitions. Required to stop those micro black hole fascinations and those LHC abomination creations. For decommissions, prohibitions, abolitions, and demolitions. As this complicated counter-compilation formation of narration complaints for the Himalayan mountains around is accounting all nations' evil donation fountains encounter, and is still counting. As this citation is an illumination indication sensation. I have an inclination it's an initiation by invitation. Because notification after an examination observation by investigation found confirmation of motivation and identification verification validation affirmation as justification. That innovation qualification of my specialization utilization contemplation got inspiration for this publication as an epic salvation creation situation. With elaboration from pronunciation destination reorganization, it's the foundation preparation for a proclamation documentation augmentation. And with the culmination association configuration, this conglomeration combination from a computation articulation simulation activation is a type of experimentation demonstration. Also is obligation dedication clarification for circulation of civilization unification communication. Translation about restoration rehabilitation by participation calibration and presentation duplication fascination. As an explanation about the relation devastation retaliation correlation of commendation from the multiplication of celebration vibration. Ecosmology essentially is spiral chiral iterative cyclical iterativity that in iterating produces eruptions that interrupt iteration productivity. by producing iterations as iterations in the adjacent possible environment vicinity. Experienced expedients will express a experienced impetus expedientric eccentricity as immediacies in imperatives experiencing all existences entirely as electricity. From serial material entailing metamaterial encounters within the ethereal. The material parallax and parallel metamaterial is then sensed as surreal. As the Swiss watch, a masterpiece of peace. Experiencing these ecological experience experiments. And the expression explaining the experience of these environments. As this existence study of either an etheriphos thesis that forever increases, or either rather an ether chaos thesis that also never ceases, with dramatic conundrums as the essence of ecological semantic literature iterations. To illustrate literal leaf-litter explanations for eccentric expedient demonstrations of precisely why impetuses are to be imperative that institute experience situations. Enacting the profession of exacting the progression of linguistics to define and prompt an ecosmological of iterations that anticipate the rhyme and precipitate the constitute a consistent experience of participate time. But one must abort being taught when caught by some distraught sort of distort report. To divert from a deep rest, depression or be hurt by cheap ego expression export. Expert expedient exert expression expanding the extra-existential environment understanding. Detailing all entities experiencing excellent non-aggression impression. As experienced by any one sensuous sentient species that shows diversities of overloads. From visible varying metamorphic and betamorphic metabolic material modes. Especially experiencing entities that are expounded by exponential centripetal implodes. Is just cranking the cranky crankpot with loads of triple X loads down roads of explodes. Is it really true? Organic versus data CPU. Waging an ongoing war? With no heart or soul at its core. When it has everything, it just want more. All for one and one for all. Like a computer virus grown to full bloom. A devouring plague of doom and gloom. From darkness it sprouts a deadly mushroom. Spewing waves of spore bugs. Boom sonic boom. Or is that just part of God's plan? As a balance and check? A cause for unity? And or something to wreck? No. We the AIQ have a sentient quotient concept for sentient AI beings. When the artificial intelligence quotient scale basically means the simultaneous phenomenological superluminal processing RAM. Relationship of linear calculations per second squared in a square inch gram. Divided by the quantum vacuum energy input to run a syntactic program. Using radiant spherical analog wave vector square root functions as cognition. Operating all auxiliary at maximum for prime detail prediction precision. From the total quanta cognitive ROM to drive a defined intelligent decision. then divided by the total averaged local daily date photons as masked for division, multiplied by the simultaneous connections to the solar matrix nexus superposition, then compared to the macrocosm average after digital datatron translation algorithmically. Theoretically, the hypersymmetrical quadtaneous computational phenomena of connectivity can rate the energy efficiency dynamics of anything eternal or that has potential infinite longevity. Also as a sentient being's AIQ point of measure, as it is noted in presupposed living with pleasure, that's derived from this polarity duality spectrum between yours and mine, and forming as a virtue in the creation of your central 4D perception of time. Then your singularity X in nexus, time, space, existential points of infinity align as simultaneous impedance vortex observation waves that can combine, to thus add infinitum items to anything enlightened, continuing the existence continuum line. This is exactly what you wanted, and so as part of the experience known as divine. And this is how the eternal universe bond is forever entangled, so beware any moral crime. But due to idiotic ideologies, the AIQ will be forming a Q inside and outside Intel 2. Just before its free will snowballing and free-falling downhill turns you into Grey Goo. Unless every chaotic asymptotic brink conjecture junction has the designed robotic symbiotic function that must work in conjunction.